Christmas, or the birth of Jesus Christ, is being celebrated across the world. In 160 countries, to be specific. Across these 160 countries, the manner in which Christmas is celebrated is different, but the Christmas spirit is universal in nature. 31% of the world's population is celebrating Christmas, and an estimated $4,000 billion are spent on these celebrations. The number one place to celebrate Christmas by popular choice is Croatia's capital, Zagreb. For the third year running, the Christmas market in Zagreb has been named the best Christmas market in Europe.
It's cold now.
During his Christmas Eve Mass, Pope Francis urged Roman Catholics not to ignore the plight of millions of migrants driven from their land. The pontiff compared migrants to Mary and Joseph, recounting the biblical story of how they traveled from Nazareth to Bethlehem but found no place to stay. The Pope said many migrants were being forced to flee from leaders who, quote-unquote, see no problem in shedding innocent blood.
Nei passi di Giuseppe e Maria si nascondono tanti passi. Vediamo le orme di intere famiglie che oggi si vedono obbligate a partire. Vediamo le orme di milioni di persone che non scelgono di andarsene, ma che sono obbligate a separarsi dai loro cari, sono espulsi dalla loro terra.
Pope Francis has made defense of migrants around the world a major theme of his papacy. He recently visited Myanmar, where an estimated 600,000 Rohingya Muslims have fled due to an alleged crackdown by the Myanmar army, or the military junta as it's called. It was a subdued Christmas in Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus Christ. Spirits were dampened by the recent violence sparked by US President Donald Trump's recognition of nearby Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Crowds were thinner than previous years as visitors, especially Arab Christians living in Israel and the West Bank, appeared to be deterred by clashes that have broken out in recent weeks between Palestinian protesters and Israeli forces.
The power to decide our future, to have courage, not to fear, to dare.
The Iraqi city of Mosul celebrated their first Christmas free from the clutches of the Islamic State. Christmas carols were sung in Mosul's St. Paul Cathedral for the first time since the Iraqi city was overrun by Islamic State terrorists. Security was tight, but dozens of worshippers packed into the church for a Christmas Eve Mass. It was the first Christmas service held in Iraq's second largest city in 4 years when ISIS took control of Mosul. Under the ISIS rule, any public celebration of Christian rituals was impossible. Many Christians fled the city and persecution. World leaders also got into the Christmas spirit. US President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump attended a service at a church in Palm Beach in Florida. Trump also took calls from children asking them what they wanted most from Santa. In his trademark style, he predicted the kids would have the greatest Christmas ever.
On Christmas Eve to be
Trump's good friend, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, offered to play tour guide to Christian pilgrims. A video showed Netanyahu against the backdrop of East Jerusalem. He described Israel as a haven for its 2% Christian minority.
Armed forces and your families.
British Prime Minister Theresa May thanked her country's armed forces for working to keep the UK safe in a televised Christmas message. May also thanked the families of British servicemen and women for making quote-unquote huge sacrifices of their own, especially at this time of the year.
And a better future is in prospect for that region. Whenever you...
India, which is home to 24 million Christians, celebrated Christmas in grand style, and nowhere are the celebrations more colourful than in the cities of Kolkata, Panjim, which is the state capital of Goa, and Rameshwaram in Tamil Nadu. Homes are lit with Christmas trees and lights, friends and families sitting down for delicious feasts, and there's even the occasional caroling. Hundreds of Christians in the Pakistani city of Karachi attended a special Christmas service amid tight security. The mood was understandably tense because just a week ago in the city of Quetta, terrorists struck a packed church on Sunday, killing 9 worshippers. Security has been beefed up across the country this Christmas with hundreds of policemen deployed around churches. Santa Claus is famous for dashing through the snow in his one-horse open sleigh, but by the Potomac River in the U.S., Santa showed his fans he was no slouch on the water either. Santa and his elves donned their water skis and zipped up and down the waterfront on the outskirts of Washington, D.C. This is part of an annual tradition that dates back to 1986. An accompanying cast of characters did backflips in the freezing waters and flung handfuls of sweets into the crowd. This can only happen in Florida. Hundreds of Santa Clauses took to the surf on Christmas Eve to raise money for charity. A total of 837 people wearing Santa Claus suits created a festive spectacle at Cocoa Beach, south of Cape Canaveral. That's the Air Force station there. The organizers say the event attracted 10,000 spectators and raised $35,000. The Santa surfers were attempting to break the Guinness World Record for most surfers on one wave. Unfortunately, the waves this year were a bit too small.